All right. Hello, ECE 240. You already watched the video that gave you an introduction to this course, and now we're ready to get right into work. So here we are, week 1, chapter 1 and chapter 2. When you read chapter 1 and get ready to complete the assignments in chapter 1, there's one thing the book does not tell you about that I want to make sure all of you know, and it's critical importance. And it starts with the importance of 80-90. What is 80-90? What 80-90 is, 80% of critical brain development, the brain that you have right here, if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 80% of your brain was developed by the time you were 3 years old. Imagine that only 20% of brain development happens after you turn 3. By age 5, 90% of brain development has taken place. That is 80-90. By age 3, 80% of brain development has taken place. And by age 5, 90% of critical brain development has taken place. And what is brain development? Well, it's this opportunity to connect neurons, and you're going to learn a little bit more about that during this semester. But what we want to do is to connect as many neurons from the left to the right side of the brain as we can, okay? And the more neurons that we connect, the better our brain is able to function, the more effective our brain is. And this is the role that we have during the first 5 years of life, which is the perfect opportunity to support brain development. And how do we do that? Through relationships. And this is where, number 2, I want you to focus on the story of Ted and Alice. This is going to be on your midterm. And interesting enough, Ted had everything in life. He was smart, he was intelligent, but then he became a very violent person in our society. Why do you think that was? When Alice had everything against her, but yet she thrived and became a successful individual. It's one word, it's called resilience. And make sure that you understand what resilience is. And I have the opportunity in that folder, in that module, there is a video on what is resilience. And it's the ability to make a positive relationship. And we need relationships to be resilient people. What this chapter really focuses on, and what you are going to see as far as your work this week, there are different child development theories, different theories of how we develop as human beings. And chapter 1 is all about that. So there's some videos that I have for you that shows some particular very famous theorists and the theories they present of how we develop, the different stages we go through our development, okay? And that's what chapter 1 is all about. I'm picking something that that's not in the book, the 80-90. I want you to focus on the story of Ted and Alice and why having positive relationships, people that love us, people that care for us, is something we need as human beings to be successful in life. And it's these relationships that allow us to go through our different developmental stages. We can't do it by ourselves. We need love, we need attachment, and we need a relationship with an adult that cares for us and wants to spend time with us and supports us during our developmental stages. Why is this so important? Because as you know the developmental stages, and now that you know that 90% of critical brain development is happening by age 5, now you know this critical window and this opportunity that if we support children before they even enter kindergarten, they have the ability to be successful adults later in life. And how do we do that? Well, that gets into chapter 2. And the 2 terms that I really want you to focus in on chapter 2, this will be on your midterm, is nature versus nurture. Nature is the stuff you're born with because of what came from your biological mother and your father, and their family tree creates who we are. Okay? But then who shapes us as individuals is just not all that DNA, not all of the science that is brought to us from two individuals, right? The DNA is taken from two individuals that create us. What impacts our development is our nurture. Our nurture is that the ability that someone has to support you and guide you through your life, the ability to be there for you, understand the importance of the first 5 years, understand brain development, and support you through your different stages in life. That's what these 2 chapters are about the different theories of the developmental stages and the important place or part that nature and nurture have and how they impact our development. I'll end with this. Nature is out of your control. You didn't get to choose who your mom and dad are. But what is in your control now as adults is how you nurture others. And that's what's in our control. When I talk about I have the ability to change your life, for the rest of this 8-week course, my goal is to teach you nurturing techniques that support brain development, that support the overall ability to maximize someone's life. That's what this class is about. Okay. Something I want to do really quick is we go to our modules. This is what you're going to see. And for week 1, this is what is expected of you. You have a discussion to introduce yourself to the class. This is due. You'll see a due date there by Friday. Okay, just very quick, please introduce yourself to the class. You get 10 points for doing that right away, easy. No need to leave a comment on anyone's post, just that everyone is able to introduce themselves in the class, okay? So that gets you to that. Going into the rest of the work is now chapter 1 and chapter 2. That was the introduction. Chapter 1, what you're going to do for your discussion is you're going to go through chapter 1 and you're going to pick one theory that you can most relate to. And you're going to say, hey, this is a theory that I most relate to and why, and explain why through your own life examples, why you were able to relate to that theory. There's a lot of theories out there. I want you to pick one, talk about it. Why did you pick that one? You need to leave a discussion and then respond to one classmate by Sunday. Okay. Also, you're going to have a quiz for chapter 1. Open book quiz. It's right there. That's due by Sunday. I have a PowerPoint for you. I also have some videos on resilience and some quick videos that give you an overview of the developmental theories. Okay. Week 2. For week 1, chapter 2 now. Week 1, chapter 2, you are going to answer this question. So nature and nurture. What if someone does tell you, hey, the genetic background, your DNA, your nature, right? And your environmental experience, and that person was able to look at your nature and nurture, and they reached to this conclusion. And the conclusion is that the environment you grew up in as a child definitely had little influence on your intelligence. What would you say about this analysis? So this is what I want you to think. Do you think your intelligence is based on who your mother and father are? Or do you think it's based on your environment? What this is saying is that this person is saying they believe that your environment, your nurture, had very little influence. I want you to talk about that. That is due by Friday, and respond to one classmate by Sunday. Okay? Also, you're going to have a quiz for chapter 2, which is right here. You have a PowerPoint. You have a nature versus nurture debate video and a video called ACEs that really does a good job as well. These videos are to support you and to help you guide you this week. So this is what you have. You have an introduction that you have to complete. You have a discussion for chapter 1 and for chapter 2. You have to leave a discussion and respond to a classmate. And then you have your 2 quizzes that are open book. That's to get you started for this week. I would suggest this is look over the observations and start to ensure which observation you can do and what observation you want to do so you can complete them on time. I look forward to reading all of your work, and I wish all of you a successful week here, week 1 out of week 8 in ECE 240. I wish all of you a wonderful week. Take care.